I'm going to give you a brief overview demonstration of the content calendar system. As you probably know, everything that we do is customized per our clients. So what you'll see here is a base of kind of data and items that I thought would be useful across DMOs. If this is something you start to use as part of the setup process, we'll walk through with you and anyone who will be using the system to see how you're currently tracking it, what you're missing from that system, and what updates might be needed in this system to make sure that it fulfills your needs. We don't like to work the backwards way where we say, here's the system, you make it work for your processes. We like to make this system work in your process. So keep in mind that anything you see here is adjustable and is certainly not set in stone. This is just to give you an example of how you might utilize it. So here it defaults to your task view. We do have a few clients who have their user roles set up so that if the person is a manager or a project manager, then they have the option here to also see everybody else's tasks. So they can see overall how the project or the content item is moving along. So from here, you can click into your individual task and you can update that with, a description. Where's it at? You can ask somebody else to join you in your task. You can have your comments, add your documents, and track that all through this screen. Everything within here is driven kind of by what we are generically calling a project. And so I'm going to go and look at the project calendar because I think this is a good overview. So here we have a few views of how you would see the calendar. This is the yearly view, and we have it broken out here by type. So this particular one is blogs, events, pages, photo shoots. You might have fam tours in here, or video shoots, or however you structure the different types of content that you're creating. And then you'll see when each one is scheduled to be completed. Many clients have said that it's a dream scenario that they will have this filled out on a yearly basis, a year ahead of time. But at least when you start using it, if you at least go in and fill in the information about things that you've created and how they were promoted, then you'll have that as your historical data. So for example, if you are doing a ad in AAA magazine in August, you can go in there, put it in, put how much you paid for it, what the circulation was. You can put your postpartum of did you like it, did you not like it, all of that. You could also even just upload the ad directly into there. So then next year when AAA says like, hey, remember we did this last year, and you don't remember because you've done 500 of them since then, you can just click back in your year, click on your AAA and kind of see your notes, see the ad that you did, and have all of that year after year after year. So in this annual view, you can see it by type, or you can see it by what we call a project pillar, or it might be content type. I usually call them like product types. So, it might be your wine and beer type, or your outdoor adventure type, or however you are kind of structuring the different content avenues. Some clients have it seasonally, so they have seasons in here as well as the different product types. And this can kind of help you see like, okay, why do I only have 2 recreation things throughout the year? What can I fill in here, and when and how? The other thing that clients have been talking about doing is tracking the individual annual events in here. So, making a project that says, here are big events that are coming up, because when you go down to the monthly view, then you start to see not only your projects, but the tasks that are related to those projects. And the start and end dates for any promotions that you might be doing for that content type. So if you put in here, you know, oh, on February 3rd, note, Valentine's Day is coming up, and we want to reach out to our partners to see if they have any Valentine's Day promotions that we can promote via a blog or whatever. So you can really kind of use this as, you know, your reminder system and your overall catalog of not only what you want to do, but what you have done in the past so that you can look back at that. So if I click into a project, you'll see in here is where we manage all of those other items. So I can have multiple content types, I can have multiple pillars, and these are all customizable within the configuration. So you can add a new type or remove a type whenever you need to. You can have a description, you can put in your participants, you can add them as a lead or as a participant, and that feeds into the different views that I was talking about before. You can have any number of tasks in there that you need to have done, notes, and then of course task documents. This should really say project documents that relate to this project. And then the other cool thing is that we have this create a promotion area. So if, you know, say this is a blog post and you're going to boost it on Facebook, you can create a promotion that then says, you know, Facebook promotion of blog XYZ. We started it on this day, we did it on this day. You can write a description of, you know, why you did it, what the post looked like, how you decided, you know, whatever you're going to keep in there. You can put in your impressions or the circulation, you know, if it's a print ad, you can do how many clicks it received, and then the amount budgeted and the amount spent. So you'll have that running tally. And again, any other items you might want to track in here, we can always add those, and that will be something that we do as we set them up. So then the cool thing about this is then you can go over to your promotion spend report, and you can put in your dates. And I'm just going to go to the end of the year. I can execute it, and then you can see, you know, what you budgeted and where it was expended. And this is just one view of this, and I definitely imagine that clients will want different types of reporting here, but this is just one example of what we can do. And so, you know, you might look here and say, okay, well, it's October 30th and I've only expended 1,800, but I have budgeted 46. Did I miss something? Do we need to go back? You know, have we not really expended what we needed to? So you can kind of track that in here. And then of course you have just the regular old project list. So you have several ways to view it. Something else that comes with this system is an SEO review and a page audit tool. This is something that we created for users that we do SEO or SEM for that don't necessarily use our website services. So it made it easier for me to propose SEO changes and updates to other clients without having to pass back and forth an Excel spreadsheet. So if you click into this SEO review, it only has one page in here, but what happens is you populate in all your pages, which is something that we would do as part of the setup, and you put in all the initial data for this, you know, what is the header, what is the browser title, what is the meta description, and then when you look at this overall listing, as you can see, it says, you know, you don't have a browser title or you don't have a meta description. And then you'll see when it was last updated, if it was a paid landing page. And so you can kind of track your SEO updates through here. And you can even, you know, we have different statuses. So if you have something here, I say, I want to change this to new header text. And then I say, you know, it's ready for review. I press save, then notification gets sent to whoever should review this page and they can log in and approve it. And then I get the notification back to go in and update it. So that's how we use it when I'm doing the SEO, but you could definitely utilize this as well to track your own SEO updates. And then you'll see it has a nice character count in here, so it helps you stay on track with, you know, how long should the browser title be, how long should the meta description be, you know, what are we doing with that. Then it also has a running history of those changes that you made, so that, you know, as you're making SEO updates, you can log into your analytics and look here to see, you know, how a particular page is performing, and you see, wow, it really started, you know, declining in traffic. What happened there? Maybe it had something to do with something we did on the SEO. Maybe it didn't. But then you'll have a kind of a running track of what you've changed and how. To go one step further on that, we also have what I call a page audit system. So in here, it's very similar to the SEO review, except that it's more of an open field. So you'll have some data finds in there. You can put in, you know, what number it is on the top landing, what number it is on the top page view. You can add your comments in here. And so this is where I try to make notes about, you know, I rearranged the page to see how the mobile performance would change, because we saw that the mobile traffic was bouncing more than the desktop traffic. So we made an adjustment there. And so again, just to have a nice running total, you can keep track of, you know, data find October 2019, that the bounce rate was this, and in further examination, we realized it was a broken link or whatever we found. And then you just have like a nice history of what you've done and what you found and why you did it, because as much as we might try, oftentimes we don't remember what we changed from day to day, and it's not as easy to track it in Google Analytics because you have a limited amount of data that you can put into an annotation. So I'll usually put, you know, landing page updates made, see site audit on that date. So then I can come into the site audit system and look around October 20th and see the updates that I made and how that might be affecting my traffic. So that is kind of a brief overview of the two things that are happening here. One thing I will note is that on the project calendar side, there will also be an option if you are a manager of tasks to, on a yearly basis, to see, you know, not just your projects, but the entire team's projects. And you can make it that option available to everybody. It just depends on how your team works together and how you want the permissions to work together. So if you have any questions, please reach out. I'd be happy to do a live demo where we could walk through any particular questions you might have and about how you guys work and how we might utilize the system for that. The biggest thing here is I imagine that most of you have some kind of Excel worksheet or Word document combination where you're tracking this, and it probably works pretty good if you fine-tuned it. But the great thing about this is we're putting this information into a database. And so, you know, if in 3 months you say, you know, I really need to be able to turn this display inside out, and I want to be able to track it by, you know, which one has the most tasks or which one is the most behind. Because we have that data in a database, we have the ability to really pull out the data and meld it to however you need it. Whereas if you're doing it in an Excel sheet, you know, and you want to look at the content from a project type or a pillar type, you know, switching that view is not easy to do. So we're hoping that this system will make managing your content items and your promotions and kind of getting an overall feel for what you have going and when it's due and what's happening a little bit easier. So again, if you have any questions, please reach out. Happy to do a live demo at any time.